Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Having a nice Monday, if it is still Monday where you're at. I am sitting around waiting for my cousin to get off of a plane. Not till 10:55 tonight. She's supposed to be showing up about 11. And gosh, it's only 5:30. So I've got quite a bit of time to waste here. Got some good deals on hemp today. I found a bunch that was unspooled. Somebody had pulled it out of the, and I got it for less than half price. So it's been a good day so far today. I'm in Phoenix, no longer on the Colorado River. Missed that view. Hey, what's going on, Trav? I love that. Live flat and prosper. Yeah, just playing with hemp. I got quite a bit today. Well, 5 spools. And a lot of it was unraveled. So I got a pretty good deal on it. Usually it costs about $5 a spool, and I got it for, yeah, how did that go? I'll have Wi-Fi tonight. I'm going to go crazy and watch all kinds of stuff. He's a great interview, isn't he? Just so full of knowledge. How long did it go on for? Not posted yet? Cool. So I didn't miss anything. Hour and a half? Awesome. So he was nice and comfortable. So you did you do it live? Was it a live interview? Or you just recorded it before and then you're gonna, okay. Let me do a little slicing and dicing here. I don't know, I must just attract these people. I mean, my truck is not in the greatest of shape, you know. It's not in, the tailgate's dented, it's old. But a guy, homeless guy, just came up to me and asked me if I had any food to give him. I was sitting in a parking lot, just chatting with Adam, and he just came up and was like, "Hey, do you have any food you could spare?" And I had some cans of ravioli. I gave him a can of ravioli and a spoon and everything. And I love it when they say God bless. He didn't have I think he might have been into drugs. Didn't have his front teeth, and he didn't look that old. But he didn't ask for money. He just asked for food. And if I have anything like that, I'll give it to him. Food, clothes, water. It feels good, man. It feels so good to give to people that need it. And he sat down right there and started eating it. It just made me feel, you get this warm feeling inside. Well, you know, Trav, you've helped me out. I'm gonna lock my doors. I'm in Phoenix, and not the greatest area, I don't think. I'm kind of by just a few miles from the airport. I got all kinds of shit in the back too. Oh well, I'm gonna just put out some good faith that nobody's gonna try anything. Anything exciting today on Nathan's show or anything like that? I know it's probably late over there. Most of them are probably sleeping. I saw he was, well, no, I don't think there were any Globers on. I caught it for just a minute while I was at the truck stop this morning. I think he was just doing house cleaning, him, Anthony, and Arwen. What were you guys talking about? Anything good? Adam, McKinsey, we've had a couple good discussions today about, I mean, I love talking about the flat earth. I love talking about the flat earth. Don't get me wrong. I could talk about it all day with people that are interested. But now I'm interested in, because I don't think we can, until we get away from their system, until we stop using their money and playing by their rules. Hey, Rune. How we doing, friend? But yeah, until we get away from their society, you know, and playing in their rigged system that is designed for us to lose and for them to always win, we're not going to move forward. And yes, we need a lot more people waking up. And I love the fact that Nathan has the debates, because he is waking people up, I'm sure, daily. But now I'm thinking about, what do we do once we get our army? Once we get enough people to make a difference, how do we put our foot down and make that difference? What's next? What comes after the activism? What are we going to do? And it's time to start sharing new types of knowledge. For those of us that are aware. I'm hoping, yeah, they're talking about having the European Flat Earth Conference next year in Amsterdam. And I've been asked to do a demonstration at it, actually. Mr. Adam Meekin and I, possibly. So hopefully I'll be able to sell and grow a bunch of cannabis with my buddy. Yeah, my bird sound. No, not an army, Rune, just a large group of people, you know what I'm saying? Not a militant army, but just our flat earth army, our people ready to step out and away from this system that is designed for us to lose. If you're not in the club, the rules don't apply to us. All the breaks and all the ways to get, away from all the nonsense, we don't get them. We don't get that stuff. They don't. George Carlin said it best. There definitely is a club, and we ain't in it. And I don't know if he was in the club or not. He might have been. It's so hard to tell who's in the club and who isn't. But anymore, I just think that if you see them on television and they're in the club, or they have handlers that are in the club, and they're all told what to say and how to say it and who to aim it at. Now, I could be wrong. I could be wrong 100%. Yeah, no, flat earth is just a way to show people, to wake people up to the deception, to get them out of the cave, so to say. There's so many lies and so much deceit. I mean, I'm all for having rules. Every society needs rules, but we don't need rulers. Once everybody knows the rules, we don't need people to pat each other on the back and change the rules to help them and only them and their friends. It's gotten so out of whack and out of control. You hear about so many times in this country here in the US, people will break into someone's house, slip and fall. All right, they will slip and fall and break their leg or break their arm and sue the people that they had broken into their house. So many people here I don't trust. I'm getting my 9mm out. Hold on. These guys eyeballing me. I'm just gonna set it here on my lap. I'm in Arizona, so it's fine. You guys can circle my truck all you want. You come up to me with something and... No, thank you, sir. I don't have any money. I appreciate it. You too. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you. God bless. Well, yeah, I mean, we know the rules. Everybody knows the rules and how they go. I'm getting a lot of texts right now. I'm sorry, folks. Yeah, but we all know the rules. With the rules instilled inside of us. Excuse me. I got to help. Gave out a couple more hats today. That was awesome. Felt so good. Couple nomads. Yeah, the Western civilization, I mean, it has spread through violence, really. A lot of people say, oh, it was spread by missionaries through religion. But in all reality, it's people were given a choice. You're given the Bible or you're given the sword. And you get to choose which. That's how it works. It's okay, Bubba. He's okay. Gosh, I hate having my head on a swivel, but I don't like being in these big towns and bad neighborhoods. Uncle Smith and Uncle Wesson here to sitting on my lap just to make sure Nobody tries any funny business. I love Arizona. It's the Wild West out here. It's crazy. All the guns and all the gunfire you hear. Not so much in the big cities, but when you get out into the country areas of the desert, I've heard gunfire just about every single day. I love it. Hey, midnight. Yeah, it's a shame that I have to have my gun handy. So many states can't even do that. A lot of states you can, though. You don't even need a license or permit. I think there's 11 states now that have a constitutional carry where you don't need to go get a permit or a license to carry a firearm around with you. You just have that right, like it's written in our Constitution. There is no infringing upon it. Yeah, I can't wait. Here at the end of the week, I'm going to be visiting a buddy of mine I've known since I was about 9 years old. Haven't seen him in years. He lives down in Dallas. Yeah, in England, it is a different world, man. I've been told, at least. Oh yeah, people go to jail for the stupidest things over here. Like I said, the criminals, this is a society designed to help criminals. But I'll tell you one thing, we don't have the crime. In the places where guns are allowed, every place where we have horrible, horrible crime, New York, Chicago, LA. Hey, Richard, how we doing, brother? All those places are like gun-free zones. So you go to Chicago and there's all kinds of crime. Grannies getting mugged every day. There's more gun violence in those places where, hey, Rob. Yeah, there's more gun violence in these places where you're not allowed to have guns. But you come out to rural Indiana and everybody knows Granny's packing. Nobody tries to mug Granny. Oh yeah, prisons have been privatized in this country for way too long. It is a money-making corporation. It has nothing to do with, and they don't want to help these people get better. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Wow, this one's going to be a little bit longer than it's supposed to be. That's okay. I'm just going off. But yeah, it's the prison population in this country is higher than anywhere else, percentage-wise. Now, I mean, China is horribly... Hey, Mike. Good to see you too, brother. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, I'm in Phoenix now. I got till... Gosh, I don't even know what time it is. I got 5 hours to kill. It's going to be a long night. I got up at about 3:30 this morning. Yeah, it's horrible, Rune. It's, when you take guns out of the hands of the good people, a criminal, by definition, isn't going to follow the laws. They don't care what laws you put out there. They're criminals. They're going to break those laws. And when you start taking away the rights of good people to defend themselves, then that just gives criminals the upper hand. That is one of the things I do love about this country. In a lot of places, you are allowed to defend yourself. It's getting... They're slowly making it harder and harder to possess guns, to buy guns, and I'm all for gun control. I don't want guns going into the hands of mentally unstable people or criminally people who have had felons from using guns before. But if somebody gets a felony for a white-collar crime, I don't think that should stop them from being able to possess a gun later on. Yeah, I'm not going to give anybody a reason to take my gun. Or even check to see if I have one. I don't mess with other people or their property or anything like that. Please don't hit my truck, sir. Thank you. Yeah, I'm all about having respect for other people's property and other people. I don't need, if they have something and I don't have it, then either I can work to get it. Guns for kids, yeah. No, but I'm all for, I think it should be a requirement in every high school that kids learn about guns and gun safety. Too many of these kids are scared of an inanimate object that doesn't do anything. Hey, Adam. How we doing, brother? Yeah, guns don't kill people. People kill people. I don't know. I still wish I could invite people to mine. I don't know. If I started a hangout on Hangouts first and then came to YouTube and went live, I don't know how any of that works. Like I said, I'm going in the opposite direction of the technology. I'm going back to canning my own food and growing gardens and building. Pretty good, sir. Yeah, he thinks he's tough while he's inside. There's a hard-working man right there. Looks like a roofer, most likely. I roofed for quite a while. A couple years on different occasions. I'd probably still be doing it if my boss wasn't a cocaine addict that fell short on paying us just about every weekend because he was putting our money up his nose. It just got old. Hearing, I'll get you the rest of your money next weekend. I love the job. The scenery changes. I worked outside. I even worked during the winter in northern Indiana. No, 5-year-olds with a gun, no. I'm talking about, 15, 16-year-olds. And they don't even have to be loaded. They don't have to, they don't have to have live ammunition, but they need to learn about them. You teach them that they're not toys. A gun is a tool. Where am I at here? Oh, there I am. Yeah, I think you do need a PC for a hangout. Yeah, I just won't be able to do hangouts. It just helps me pass the time while I'm crocheting. I'm gonna finish this one, and then I got some more some big gauge hemp, some 180 gauge hemp. Those are ones I give out to people. One's gonna be coming your way, Adam, for sure. I got 3/4 of it done right now, but you'll be getting a 180 gauge hemp hat. It'll be like this, a nice, see the difference? Oh, I forgot to call them today, Travis. I'll call them early in the morning. I was driving while we were texting back and forth, and I know I shouldn't be, but I was on the desert highway. But yeah, I forgot all about calling. Now Taco Bell Wi-Fi is being all crazy, not letting me live stream. Heard so many ambulances and fire trucks and just car sirens. I miss being out in the middle of nowhere. These big cities and stuff, they're not for me. I know some people like them and enjoy that kind of stuff, but I get along with animals more than I do people. Who is that? Hey, Roy. Hope you're feeling good, man. Tell Beck I said hey. I miss her. That smiling face. No, the NRA, I think they're part of the club. You know, they're just part of the system. I know a lot of people probably don't agree with that. No, but living I think once we get enough people awake and ready up away, that's all we need to do is no longer agree to play by their rules and play their game at all. The Amish do it and they live quite well. But like I said, we don't have to live like the Amish. We could have everything that we have now. Over in Japan, I don't know how true this is, but they're saying that the bus drivers are striking in a new way. They're still working and taking people to their destinations, but they're not collecting money from them. They're just allowing people to ride for free. Oh man, she was excited. She felt your energy, your excitement. Some good talks we had, man. I can't wait to do that like every night, every day. Learning and talking. No, I'm not about automation either. I'm about getting rid of money completely. We don't need their money. Everybody, you go to the grocery store and the people, at the cash register say, oh, we don't need that anymore. Just take what you need. People at the gas station, oh, just take what you need. People everywhere, just take what you need. Don't take what you want. Take what you need. It can happen, folks. The world can change when we change it. Yeah, and that's where I think the whole flat earth comes into play. A cultural revolution. It just to show that the people that are running this show are all liars and deceivers. We don't need these wicked pedophiles and who knows what all the stuff that these people are doing. Yeah. It starts with that person in the mirror. That's where the change needs to take place first. And we don't change people by telling them to change. We change by leading by example. Yeah, and we don't need religions. I mean, we don't need religion shoved down people's throats. And we don't need, if you want to be religious and share your ideas, you shouldn't, you shouldn't have to go and give money at the coffer in order to go to church, and there shouldn't be one person explaining to everybody else. Church should be a place where you go and you congregate and you all share your ideas and your thoughts. Yeah, you guys with kids, I envy you so much. If you have a good woman to help, it's, you guys are truly being rich right there. You all are rich in my eyes. Your bank account could be next to nothing. But the love that you all get and share with your families there's no amount of money that you can put on that. And I envy you guys. I'll find that person. I'll find her to share all that with. There's so much love. Yeah, you never know, Adam. I spent so much time in bars looking for places like that. Like a fool. Knowing what I wanted. I mean, I've always wanted kids. I've always loved kids. My favorite job that I ever had was being a camp counselor at the YMCA. That was the coolest job I ever had. I did it for 2 summers. Yeah, see, we don't need them to step down from their control. We just need to stop, listen. Like I said, if everybody did what those guys over in Japan are doing, what the people, the bus drivers in Japan are doing, they still do their job. They just don't care. They don't take the money. There is no money. Everybody still has to go do a job. But if we do it that way, everybody could only work 4 hours a day. Instead of them control work, instead of having to go to spend 8 or 12 hours a day, you know, away from your family and kids, because those are, you know, those are the hours set. How about having 2 people now split that and they go 4 hours a day? And just think, if you wouldn't need bankers to work, and you wouldn't need accountants, you wouldn't need. No, the oil won't stop. People will still work in those businesses. We still have all these jobs out there. If we want to live in a society, then people are going to have to do the jobs. And you can find jobs good at. No, we don't need investment. Do you know how much money? There's a product that oil companies make. It's called Coke. About the stuff that people put up their nose, but it is a white powdery substance that is used for Coke furnaces and stuff like that. And they make enough money selling all of that stuff to finance everything, to pay all their bills. All the money that they make off selling oil and gasoline is all profit. But we don't need their money to invest. Hey, how we doing, Anthony? We don't need people to invest in things. Everything is already out there. The refineries are there. All this stuff is already here. Yeah. You can make oil, you can make food, you can make rope. You can build your house with hemp, lime, and water. That's why it's illegal. Hemp is an amazing. This country was built on hemp. You know why hemp is illegal? Because companies like Dow, DuPont, and all these super rich people, they own lumber and cotton fields. And they would all be put out of business overnight if hemp was legal. Because everything that they make, we can make cheaper and easier and much more of it with hemp. Ooh, the sleet is falling, huh? I have been so blessed, I have not seen a drop of snow yet. When I was up there in Denver, it didn't snow one time, not that I saw. Yeah, you're not hearing me though, Rune. All the jobs that are being done right now can still be done without money. We don't need them and their money to make all this work. We don't. I know so many people drive like idiots after the first snow. Like they've never driven in it before. It's like they forget that it's going to be slippery and more dangerous when the snow is fallen, has just fallen. But what are you going to do? I have the memories of goldfish. Me and my mom were just talking about that this morning, actually. How no, I've never been to Cuba. Hey, Michelle. How are you? My Mishka. Come, sweetie. No, and Cuba is a communist country, correct? With horrible rulers that keep them oppressed just like they do everywhere else. Well, the next convention, if you don't know yet, I shall teach you. It is very easy. Well, that's what I said. If people want to have all this neat, nice stuff that we have, then we're all going to have to work. But their money doesn't make all this happen. We make it happen. People going out and doing the work. Ooh, I gotta off. I'll be right back. Could you imagine how good food would taste if it was all real again and made out of love and care and not for greed of money? And how many people we could actually heal with medicine that was made out of love and care and not to make a profit and to actually keep you sick so they can sell you a pill for the rest of your life. And you may say that I'm a dreamer. You know, John Lennon said it best. But I guarantee I'm not the only one. We could change the world tomorrow. If we all just said no. That we don't need them and their fiat currency and their fixed, rigged game. Their system. Once we tell them, no, I no longer adhere to what you're telling me and how you're telling me to live. But it's not going to work when 1 or 2 or even 1,000 people do it. And they're very good at dividing us. They do it with religion, they do it with politics, they do it with sports. Everything that they provide is just entertainment. One way or another. It's here to keep us occupied, so we're not paying attention to the man behind the curtain. And once we all figure that out, we'll have a better chance at breaking this paradigm. That's one thing I love about Flat Earth. That's why it's so powerful. Whether it was released by them or not, for whatever reason, I don't know. It's not like 9/11 or Sandy Hook or the Boston bombing or all these things that we all know are that we're being lied about too. Trying to convince somebody of those things, you can't go to these places where they took place and go show people things. You know, it's all gone. It's all been swept under the rug. Now you can show them video, but then again, you can turn around and show them a video of a transformer, you know, talking and turning into a car and back into a robot and this and that. So people don't believe videos. But when you go out there and show them with their own eyes, they can't hide the earth from us. That's why I started making YouTube videos in the first place, because they can't hide this. I've been trying to find a way to show people deception that we're living in. And this is one that we can take people out to the beach. We can show them their math, their curve calculators, what they say should be seen. And we can show them more. And we have the technology now to zoom in on it and take good looks at it and see it crystal clear almost, you know, if the weather conditions are right. And people can see it with their own eyes and say, wow, that's not a mirage. You know, just dropping that marble in the can. And cognitive dissonance is a real thing. It is a 100%, it's a sad world. 18, 19, 20. Okay. Yeah, this is one of the bigger, thicker hemp hats. But it's a scary concept to think that these people that you've trusted and putting your faith into, you know, are lying and deceiving you. Lying to you and deceiving you. A lot of people don't want to even think about something like that. That's not something that people are even comfortable trying to accept. They get ostrich syndrome, where, okay, I see it, and I know it's dangerous, and I know it's bad, but if I just stick my head in the sand, maybe it won't hurt me. If I just ignore it, it'll go away. And I understand that type of mentality. You know, I knew smoking cigarettes was bad for me when I did. It'll be 7 years in February since I quit. February 9th. But yeah, I knew it was bad, but I stuck my head in the sand. When I used to drink way too excessively and then wake up not remembering what I did the night before, but knowing that, oh my gosh, I need to apologize to somebody. Next time, the very next night, I would go and drink again, and I'd bury my head in the sand, say, oh, I won't let that happen again. I'll control it this time. And I no longer have that problem with alcohol at all. I've learned. That's why at the convention and at the bars there, I didn't drink a drop. I was drinking pineapple juice, and I think I had one orange juice at the tavern that night. You know, it was so awesome. I mean, Alex was good. I loved hearing him play the blues, that Clapton cover that he did. But when he got off stage and all these flat earthers got up there, I was blown away by the amount of talent people were singing. People were singing songs that they had written themselves, 2 other songs about flat earth. It just blew me away how well so many people, how much talent, how many artists are a part of this paradigm shifting experience that we're all going through. It just goes to show you how much talent will be found that are not willing to sell their souls. And you put them all together. There was just so much talent in so many different genres. I think somebody got up and the one girl, lady, she was younger than me, I call her a girl, but she sang James Taylor, Fire and Rain, and I cried. I'm not scared to admit it. It brought tears to my eyes. She was so just wow. The people were singing country songs. People were singing their own flat earth rap songs. It was awesome. It was very, very just uplifting to know that, you know, all these people that we see in chats, and even people that we don't see in chats, people that aren't, you know, that are closet flat earthers. There's so much talent out there among these people. So much just raw talent. I couldn't believe the pipes on so many of the people. Someone sang, I think it was either Dean Martin or no. A guy sang a song from one of the guys from the Rat Pack, I think it was. And it was awesome. It blew me away. Just and so many different types of music. It was, and I didn't have the nerve to get up there, and I wanted to play guitar and sing. I don't like singing to karaoke. I like controlling the tempo myself. Being a musician and being able to play and sing, I don't like to have to sing in a certain beat or a certain tempo if I don't want to. It's all about how I'm feeling. Sometimes I sing real slow and low, and sometimes I'll speed it up, and sometimes I'll start slow and then speed it up and then slow it down. But karaoke to me is just too restricting. I like to play and sing. Man, I miss my buddy's guitar already a lot. That was so much fun, just sitting around the campfire with him and jamming. And you know what? Me jamming, I mean, I love playing guitar. It was a lot of fun. But the best part of it, the thing that brought me the most joy, was seeing him going from not knowing a chord, not knowing how to strum the thing at all, to being able to, he was creating. And it would sound amazing sometimes. And when he would get done, he would just he would be in awe of himself. And being a part of that, just knowing that I not only helped, but just being there to witness somebody learning And somebody creating like that is, God, teaching is the greatest gift that I think anybody can get, whether it be your own child, a friend, a stranger. When you teach somebody something and you share knowledge and wisdom, it's, at least for me, there's no other feeling like it in the world. It's a wonderful thing to teach and to help somebody along their path and their journey, learn something that they want to learn, or even teach them something that they've never even conceived before. It really drives me to want to go learn more, just so I can share. I mean, you all are great. You all have really, a lot of the comments and a lot of the support that you guys have given me on my videos is what kept me going. Just the thanks for sharing, man. I never thought of it that way. That kind of stuff put me on cloud nine. It made me want to go experiment a little bit more and try something new and see what I could figure out. That's what drove different equipment. I miss my Van de Graaff generator. I miss my Tesla coil. I miss a lot of that stuff. I miss my lab, all my lenses, but I'm not done. Different things now. I got a video in a room tonight. It's going to be weird. When I was at Chris Van Matre's house during the Denver convention, I slept inside, so I take that long. But it was a pretty good stint. His house. So nice taking a real shower, not standing inside of a small stand-up tent and using a instead of starting a fire and boiling, all that kind of stuff. But it's a trade-off, you know, to have the freedom that I have right now. You have to give up certain things. Right now, at least. But like I said, when there's 50 million of us, it'll only be like 4 hours a day that we'll all have to work. Keep this type of thing going. We could have a little refinery. I have our own fuel. We can build houses out of it. We could have huge gardens and sheep that we can shear, explain to what's happening to them, and how they're not being murdered just like they consume the plant, and the plants become part of them. We are now going to consume them, and they are going to become part of us. Free range chickens, and I actually saw some free range cows. That was a win through the middle of nowhere out here in Arizona. Like there is signal, and there's no rest areas, and I mean and there's nothing around. No buildings, no anything. And you side of the road that say free range cows, and it's spray painted. Seriously, slow down and watch out for cows. Sitting here, you'll be driving and all of a sudden there's just a cow with a tag in his ear and there's no fences anywhere. And he's just eating up stuff on the side of the road. That was pretty weird. I had never seen it where, you know, and cows go roam around wherever they want. Pretty wild thing to. I wonder how long cows have been domesticated. Does anybody? No. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it, Roy? Just seeing them free ranging. I've got over 1,000 pictures, easy so far, of my my journey so far, my walkabout, and I've been sharing them with. I joined Facebook. My mom finally broke me down and got me to join Facebook, and I've been sharing all the pictures with people that I've been taking slowly. I'm still in Indiana. The pictures that I'm showing, I do like one a day, but it's I love sharing that stuff. And I just wanted to put the picture up there. Okay, yeah, I'm just Zachary Zabala. I will definitely look for you. Michelle Nicole. But yeah, it's just all, pretty much I do pictures. I don't do a whole lot of anything else. I'll put a little side caption in it, trying to tell maybe where I was, or maybe just a little something. A friend I met in Texas, or and I'm not doing them in any order. Because I have some pictures still on my phone, and then I have pictures that I download off my camera. The ones off my camera, I'm kind of doing in order. And out of the, let's see, probably 12 or 13,000 pictures I've taken with that camera, maybe 15 or 20 of them are of human beings. Most of them aren't even animals. Most of them are plants or scenery. I take a lot of pictures of flowers, a lot of pictures of trees or leaves laying on the ground. I'm an alchemist. I'm an herbal alchemist. And plants, just especially new flora and fauna that I see, it amazes me. And there's all kinds of different plant life. Plant life right now out in the desert, that's all blooming right now. Just blows my mind. I've never seen stuff bloom in December. You know, it's a different world out here. But I miss the thick, dense forests. I miss my maple trees and my oak trees and the willow trees. All of them. All the different nut trees. We're hoping to gathering down in Florida. And not just, what are these people doing gathering right next to my truck? I don't like that. I've got all kinds of stuff in the back of my truck. But just a place where we could all come together for free. No, not so much just northern Indiana, Ray. Just the thick, dense forest. Yeah, I can't wait to get to Florida. Warm, humid, trees, grass. I can't wait to see the Gulf. I am going to face one of my biggest fears, which is the ocean. And it's a silly fear. Not fearing the ocean, but fearing being eaten by a shark. The movie Jaws really did a number on me. St. Petersburg. I don't think I've ever been there. Yeah, I am so definitely fearful of. I mean, I've seen the ocean 6 times, I think. Yeah, exactly. And I've seen the Gulf a few times. And I've never gone in past my ankles. Even when I was in Lake Michigan, my uncle had a nice big boat. And we went out miles, 13 some odd miles out into the middle of Lake Michigan. 61 feet deep forever, it seemed like. And I jumped into that water and I just thought, oh my goodness, I am bait right now. There is something down in this thing that it just felt every inkling of my body told me, get out of this water. Yeah, I'm going to surf. I'm going to face my biggest fear ever, and I'm going to try to surf. Yeah, I don't know, I just have a lot of respect for those animals out there. And I mean, I'm on land where I'm in the middle of national forest where there's bear signs everywhere and cougar signs and all this stuff. Not scared at all. Yeah, most shark attacks. Oh, thank you, Michelle. I hope so. But yeah, I'm sleeping in all these forests. Nobody else around. Yeah, that's what Adam was telling me. There's white sand beaches that are like flour. They're so pure and beautiful. No, I heard you need good balance, and that's one thing that I don't have the balance that I used to. I used to rollerblade. I used to live on my rollerblades. Whenever I'd go over to, because I had big curly hair, and I always wore a bandana, and the hair was always sticking out the back. Ever since I was 14, I fell in love with the Beatles, and I quit playing basketball and started playing soccer because nobody liked our basketball coach. And but I'd go over to a friend's house for the first time, a new friend, and their parents would be like, but their parents would be like, hey, you're the kid on rollerblades that I see all the time. Oh, what was this? Okay, I got to clean some of this stuff up here. Okay. Yeah, everybody knew me from my hair. But me and my buddies, we would, I always worked. When I was 16, I worked at the YMCA. And we had so many people that were older in college and stuff, and they'd buy us beer, And we'd go rollerblading around with each of us would have like a 6-pack. There'd be 4 or 5 of us, and 2 of us would have backpacks on with ice and a 6-pack in them. And we would rollerblade around tipsy, drunk. I mean, I used to do the rail sliding and the jumping and doing all that kind of stuff off the, like, not a half pipe, but we'd have quarter pikes and stuff like that. And after I fell a few times, I was like, okay, this is fun, but I don't want to break my neck doing this. So I started keeping my feet on the ground more, but I could, like a figure skater, I could dance around on those things, have the one leg out and my arms out and be skating backwards, and I could spin 1,000. I could stand in a circle and just real fast. I could stand there in place and just have the 2 front wheels down on the ground, moving my feet back and forth and not moving at all. I mean, I had balance like a cat back then. And then I didn't do it for about 3 or 4 years, and I tried getting back on the things. Man, you lose all that stuff if you don't keep doing it. I about fell and broke my tailbone just trying to turn around and go backwards, which was like nothing back in the day. Half the time I was rollerblading, it was backwards. Just for fun, we'd be playing Frisbee the middle of the night, downtown Hobart, down Main Street. No worries, Jack. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. But yeah, we'd be skating backwards, playing Frisbee, just throwing them in between cars. Hey, Constance. Welcome, sweetie. Hope you're having a good evening. I've only seen dolphins a couple times. Like I said, yeah, I'm waiting for my cousin. Sorry about that. Yeah, definitely. No, my battery's at like 60 some odd percent when I started, and it's only down to 46. So I'll be on until it gets down real low. Just passing time until my cousin gets here. Her flight doesn't come in till almost 11 o'clock. I'm trying to not fall asleep. I'm usually in bed right after dark. Last night I stayed up a little bit later, hung out on the Plain Truth with him on his live stream he was doing. That was cool. Met a couple new guys. Had some cool conversations. That's the one thing I love about these people here on YouTube. We don't just talk about, the shape of the earth. There's so many conversations that we have about different topics and different subjects. It's an amazing group of people that we're a part of. The conference, I think that was the coolest part. I mean, I didn't get to see any of the stuff that people were putting on, the talks or anything like that. But just all the different conversations that people were having. You could just walk up, and it didn't matter if you knew the people or not. Everybody was so welcoming, and you can say just about anything as long as you were sincere. There was one troll. I saw one troll Saturday night at the pub, some weird guy, and I could tell he had a fake smile, a super fake smile, and he was hugging other guys and giving them long, slow kisses on the cheek and stuff. And he was hanging out outside most of the night. And then he came into the bar, and me and Chris Van Matre, it was late, it was like almost 2 o'clock. And me and Chris were sitting there, just finishing up. He was finishing his drink, and I was finishing my pineapple juice. Or I think I was drinking, that's when I had the orange juice. And he came up to us, and he's like, "Friend," with this totally fake smile. "Let's be friends," blah, blah, blah. Trying to do his little spiel. And Chris shook his hand, and at first I wasn't going to. And I was like, okay, you know what, I'll shake your hand. And then he put his cup up and goes, rah. And I was like, no, I'm not toasting the heliocentric sun god with you. No. And he's like, oh, well, I was a Marine and I fought for this country and I love you. And walked away like he was real mad. And you wouldn't believe how many people I've heard say that they were in the military that were not. I'm not saying he wasn't or anything. But just the whole rah, like I'm going to toast to the sun god. I was like, no, 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 no. Get your Freemasonic nonsense away from me. And he got all upset and offended and walked away and huffed and puffed and never saw him again after that. I definitely wasn't letting him get to the point where he was going to kiss me on my cheek and give me a hug. No. Yeah, big weirdo. And the thing that it was the smile that he had on his face. You can tell when somebody has a legitimate smile. I loved, that was my favorite part about working the door. So many people walked up and they were, you know, they weren't upset or anything, but some of them, they didn't have that smile on their face. And when you greet somebody with a smile, it's amazing how many people will smile back when it's genuine. When you have a genuine smile and you're really, you know, it is so, it's one of those things, it's like a yawn almost. It's hard not to smile back at somebody that is genuinely smiling and happy. And I was like on cloud 9 the whole time I was there. Just the energy. It was electric. It was. You could feel the excitement that so many people had there at the conference. It was intoxicating. Not to say that after the nights were over, I didn't step out into the parking lot and partake with a few fellow flat earthers. Michelle, I so wanted to with you guys that one night, and we never went and took the damn picture like we were supposed to. That was the biggest bummer out of the whole thing. They're like, oh, right after it's done, everybody come here. We're going to go take a picture, blah, 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 blah. Next time for sure, no matter where we are. Hopefully, I'll be selling some cannabis for a friend before I got invited to possibly do a demonstration at in Amsterdam at the European Flat Earth Convention. Mr. Adam Meekin and myself, possibly. And that would be awesome. I've never been to Europe at all. And if I do go, I think Amsterdam would be the place that I would really want to go. That just sounds like a lot of fun. I love Gary and Dee Dee. People had said things about him. You know how people are. Never meet the people, never even seen the people. Dee Dee was awesome. Just a very, very cool young lady. And Gary was a really nice guy too. Just a great guy. Yeah. Michelle, they are. For sure. They're amazing people. For some reason, I thought Dee Dee was older. I had never seen her before. I had only heard her speak. And when she's talking, she sounds like she's, I'm not going to say old, but just more mature than her age, I would say. And so, because I am not, what's the word? I mean, I'm old. I'm going to be 40 here soon. But she's so organized. And that just, That's one thing that I've never really been, is very organized. I work best under pressure. It was very much my style to do things. Carrie, welcome, sweetie. Yeah, no, I guess I'm not old. I don't even feel old, but I'm older than, gosh, I'm older than I used to be, you know? Oh, how are you doing, darling? I mean, I used to, I still feel like I'm like 18, 20. I still say things like, that's what I want to be when I grow up, you know? One of my heroes, THC Anthony, amazing gentleman. And yeah, so I'm young, you know, but I never feel old. Yeah, exactly, Roy. I'm a Toys R Us kid. I don't want to grow up. No, Jack. See, I never would have guessed you were 40. Lucky. No, 40. See, I don't know what it is. No, I'm still on the Wi-Fi. I mean, you saw my beard. I had my beard at the conference. Yeah, exactly. Jack's 40? No way. I would have thought Jack was in his maybe late 20s, early 30s. Fear the beard. I don't know if it's because I want a white beard so bad that my beard is turning white. You know, I have a lot of white here. I have a lot of white down here. Yeah, in my body, I still feel young. I still feel like I can play sports, but I'm pretty active. I always have been. Well, you saw me at the factory there, Beck. I probably walk like 10 to 12 miles a day, running back and forth. And then when I went back to printing, it was just a big giant workout every day. I moved around about, what? Let's see, about 7,000 pieces, so 14 to 16,000 pounds a day. No way, Constance. I would not have guessed that either. Yeah, if you stay active. Yeah, I even have the robe, Mike. I have a... Yeah, I'm looking for just a salt. Once I get a totally white beard, I think I told you this earlier, Adam, I'm never shaving again. I'm going to have a Gandalf beard down to my knees. It's going to be wicked. Nah, I wouldn't have guessed 30. I would have guessed a little bit younger than that. Well, just in your picture. No, I thought you were for sure in your 20s, Michelle. Like maybe mid-20s. Oh, 2016 wasn't that long ago. No, I don't have the pointy hat. I was actually just the other day thinking about making a pointy hemp hat. Having the big long wizard's top on it that kind of folded over and I could hide stuff in it. Put a little, but I do have a wizard's robe with the hood that comes down to like my nose right here, and it's got the big long open sleeves. I know I'm a dork. I don't wear it. I wore it one time to greet my buddy. He was showing up on Halloween night out in when I was in the desert out in Parker. And he didn't make it there till about 9 o'clock, 9:30, something like that. He showed up later. And I went and got my walking stick, and I was wearing that robe, my wizard's robe, and I had my lantern. I looked like the guy from Led Zeppelin off the Zoso album. He got a kick out of that. But no, I've always wanted like a monk's robe type thing. One of these days I'll find a use for it. Walking through a forest somewhere. Hiding my shotgun and my pistol underneath it so nobody can see them. And all my bandoliers and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's very good for concealing things. It hangs down to my feet. It's pretty neat. I miss shooting my shotgun. Yeah, this is the first time I've been in. Well, no. I just drove to the airport, though. This is the first time I've sat in a city and, been able to listen. Hearing all the cars go by and all the sirens and reminds me of growing up. I didn't grow up in a city quite this, well, it was considered the Chicagoland area once I got a little bit older. I lived in a town not just across the border into Indiana, but about 20 miles from the Illinois border. About 32 miles maybe, something like that, from downtown Chicago. And when I first moved there, I was like 4 years old, and there was cornfields surrounding it, and there was nothing around. And by the time I was like 15, 16, there were no more cornfields. There were subdivisions and mini malls and big malls and hotels and all that kind of stuff surrounding the whole city. Are you serious? Somebody armed robbered? Wow. Probably meth heads. Stark County's finest. Did they catch him? You don't hear about a lot of armed robbery in Stark County. We actually had 2 murders last year. Wow, they didn't catch him. Hopefully they were just passing through. Okay, everything is still there. Yeah, it's getting a little bit chillier at night, so that's one thing I always happened in Chicago. When it got cold out, there was not nearly as much crime. 4 guys in bulletproof vests to rob a gas station? Kuntz Lake. It wasn't the Okay, no, that would be in... It wasn't the Indian people where I got my pizza from every day. It was actually in Coons Lake. Wow, 4 guys with bulletproof vests. They were serious. It was the Indian people? No. Oh my goodness. I mean, 4 people with bulletproof vests, that's like... Oh, okay. I didn't know they owned that one. 4 people with bulletproof vests, that's like, let's go rob a bank. Not a little convenience store. I hear a bang and I always thinking the worst. People that were camping right down the road from me were they saw a bobcat the size of Hank yesterday. Made me... Because Hank and I go for a walk every morning and every evening at sunrise and sunset. And, yeah, I'm talking about you, handsome. You handsome guy. Yeah. But, I would let him lead the way. And I'd let him go running and playing. And I wouldn't let him leave my sight for too long, you know. Yeah, that's crazy, Beck. But yeah, this morning I didn't let him leave my sight at all. I was really... They usually don't hunt too much once it's daylight out, but... And the coyotes are all in their dens by then. But I've heard coyotes pretty much every night. What you'll hear is you'll hear one just yipping, trying to coax something to come get it. It'll pretend like it's hurt almost. Coyotes are smart. And then once something comes to get it, their whole pack will be sitting there waiting. I mean, they're smart animals. Any wild animal is really... They're pretty smart. If they're still alive, you know. Oh, and the mouse died in my bucket. I thought I heard it last night. I got up about 2 o'clock. I heard a vehicle start not very far away. So I got up and went and checked my, just checked all my stuff, and I thought I heard something. The mouse had chewed a hole into Hank's food bag, but it had gone and fallen into one of the buckets I had in the back of my truck. And I heard something, and I didn't even think about it. I thought it was down in my truck somewhere. And I got up this morning and went and looked in there, and he was dead. He must have froze or something. I don't know. I felt horrible, though. I wish I would have noticed him last night. I would have let him out. Poor little thing. He was just looking for food. Even though he tore a hole into Hank's food bag, I mean, I feel bad for him. Oh, these guys are actually working out here. He's getting his ladder all set up and getting ready to go to work. Some hard-working man right there. He's got to be in his mid to late 50s, not early 60s. No, I usually don't keep anything wood in the back of my truck. I have my walking stick always. And I can't wait to finish. I've been letting it dry out. I need to put some linseed oil on it. Let it harden back up, and fill in all the cracks, and then I'll sand it down one more time. And I got some nice big giant hawk feathers and a few different types of crystals and rocks. I'm not sure which one. Maybe I'll find a different one to put into it. None of them really jumped out at me and said, hey, I'm your walking sticks rock. Yeah, it's going to be such a cool walking stick too. It's blue spruce. They call it ironwood or muscle wood. It looks like when you flex your arm and you have all the little muscles right here. That's what it kind of looks like. It is such a cool looking type of wood. Yeah, I can't wait to show you, Adam. Are they finally done with the whole George Bush parade type thing that they were doing?
Oh, it'll look nice. It'll have a nice shine to it. So the graffiti will clean off. Huh? You do the wall?
Yeah, Adam and I were talking earlier. He said it was on for like hours. Just 21, 22, 23. All right, I'm on my last row here. I don't know. This thing looks big. No, that'll be right size. One more. Wow. Oh. Never cared for George Bush Sr. I never cared for any politician, but I really despised him a lot. He was kind of the in-your-face, we're going to make a new world order, and we will. Just so in-your-face about it. Ex-CIA director, Reagan's vice president. Imagine that. Reagan was, they tried to kill him like right away. I wonder who had that trigger pulled. If that was even real, who knows? Gosh, I think about all the stuff that I think happened. Still sipping that coffee, huh? Yeah, I should. No, I can't start a fire out here in the middle of Taco Bell parking lot. They say the tea, I have, yeah, in your face creepy, exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly, Constance. He had all the poisons out there. You could be drinking worse things than coffee. That's for sure. You're not going to go for a joyride and mow down 10 people because you had too many coffees. No, I don't get mad very often, Beck. It's not something that I do. One time, I felt so bad after I did it too. I went up and apologized. But Dwayne was hitting the buzzer, because I was the lead person, and there's, 17, 18 machines, I think, at that time. And whenever one went down, I'd have to go and start it up and figure out or fix, whenever anything went wrong. If buckets got jammed or a flamer stopped working or an upstacker or the printer, the child warning label machine would mess up, stuff like that. I had to go and fix them and get everything rolling again. And this one day, I think I was the only person there. My assistant was gone. Yeah, exactly. But Dwayne was a great guy. And he was just doing it to be funny. And I was having a bad day already. and there was like 3 or 4 machines down at the time. I mean, you just look down the line and it was red light, red light, red light, red light. And and he just kept hitting the buzzer like every 5 seconds. And I just looked and I don't scream very often. I've screamed like maybe 3 or 4 times in my life, and that was one of them. It got the deep Sasquatch voice out and stop. And I just gave him the look and pointed at him, and he was just like, whoa. Like, so freaked out that came out of my mouth and that look. And as soon as I got done fixing the machine I was working on and starting it back up, I went up there and apologized. Like, dude, I'm so sorry, Dwayne. It's just been a rough day. And he was like, I know. I'm sorry for, and I was like, no, I mean, you don't have anything to apologize for. I shouldn't have yelled like that. But it was well after you were gone, Beck. That was like at 6 o'clock at night. Yeah, I don't lose my temper very often. And even if I do lose my temper, I don't show it. Usually if I lose my temper, I'm very good at just keeping my mouth shut and waiting, letting it simmer and not boil over. I just cool off. But that time it got the best of me and I lost my cool. But that was the only time I lost, the 6 years I was there, that was the only time I lost my cool. Okay. I'm getting warm. No, after you put in as many years as you have in that place, you shouldn't have a filter. All the crap that you've put up with over the years from that place, I don't know how you do it. Need to roll the windows down a little bit. I'm almost starting to sweat here. Oh, that feels so much better. Washed my hat today or yesterday and dried it so it's a little bit shorter. Usually hemp is weird. Once it starts not wearing out but like losing its rigidity, it'll hang down here like past my ears. But as soon as I wash it, it comes up here 40. So I don't know how. Yeah, you gotta love those chemtrails. That sucks, man. They're everywhere. They're all out here in the desert too. New Mexico was covered with them everywhere I've been. And I've been a lot of, it took me 5,000 miles just to get to New Mexico from Indiana, 1,400 miles away. All right, Beck. Get some rest. Tell everybody I said hey. I love you, ma'am. As soon as I get to where I'm going, I'll be sending your hat out. For sure. I just want to make sure I have enough funds to get the fuel, have the fuel to get there. I got the food, so I really don't need to buy any more food. But I just want to make sure I got enough petrol juice funds to get out there. So you take it easy, sweetie. I'm sending a lot of love your way. A lot of prayers and good wishes. Tell Roy I said goodnight too. Yeah, she's an amazing lady. I worked with her, well, the 6 years I was there. Oh, settle down, Bubba. It's okay. It's okay. He's okay. He's a good guy. Yeah, babe. Yeah, I do miss so many of those people there that I worked with. A lot of good folks. So many places I work. I mean, Now, I've never worked in like an office. I never wanted to. There you go, Adam. They'll have the FBI at your door in no time. But working in factories and roofing, and there's a carpet cleaner for Stanley Steamer for a couple seasons. That was a pretty cool job, getting to go into people's houses, and because I was always real big into architecture when I was young. And up there by a lot of the houses we did were along the beach in Michigan City. Pretty soon, Jack. Pretty soon, you'll be able to get out of that system. I can feel it. Things are going to change. I can feel it. Remember that song? Soy un perdido. In the time of chimpanzees, I was a monkey. Anybody know that song? I actually saw that guy at the Metro up in Chicago. Butane in my veins, and the African the junkie with the plastic eyeballs. Spray paint the vegetables. Wow, it's been forever since I heard that one. Yeah, that's Beck, Loser. Not his greatest song, but that was probably one of his bigger hits. His Odelay album, that's when I saw him, but he still played a lot of the older stuff. A lot of people don't know this, but Beck actually played every instrument on his albums. He only had the band when he would go on tour. Very talented guy. That night, me and I was 17. It was the night before my senior year started high school. And we went up to Chicago. It was so cool back then because it was only like $4 to take the train, and you could get there and back under $10. And it would drop us like 5 miles from town, in one town over. We used to go to Chicago all the time. But we were sitting there, and he started playing Asshole, which is a cool, really cool old song, one of his older songs. And these guys next to us were screaming it the whole time for him to play it. And as soon as he started playing it, they lit up a joint, you know. And I was with a girl, and she was just drop dead gorgeous. We were just really close friends. We had been for years. And I was like, hey, why don't you ask them if we can hit that? And she did. And I think we each took like 2 pulls only. But it was not just cannabis. I don't know what it was laced with, but for like the next, maybe like 15 minutes later, she and I went and sat on these steps for like the next hour and a half. It felt like we were frying. It was crazy. And after that, I was very cautious about who we asked to smoke anything with anymore. That's a night I'll never forget. Yeah, the whole train ride home, people had to think we were crazy. We were doing the mellow, blah! And she would bust out laughing the whole time. It was like a 45-minute train ride or something like that, with stops included and all that. Oh, that was a fun night. There was 4 of us. Never forget that night. He played Pay No Mind. That was always one of my favorite songs. something Cammy Nodell taught me. One of my favorite Who songs. Not my favorite. I think my favorite's probably Getting in Tune. But the song Behind Blue Eyes is actually a song from one of the secret society people from their point of view. You know, the blue-eyed people, blah, 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 how they're, you know. But no one knows what it's like to be the sad man, to be the bad man behind blue eyes. No one knows what it's like to be hated, to be fated to telling only lies. So they had to tell lies. They were fated to telling nothing but lies. Yeah, very cryptic. In the short amount of time that I was with Cammy, she taught me a lot. You know, they say behind every great man is a great woman, and Bob is a very smart, wise. Yeah, exactly. But see, I don't think they wrote those songs. The way those things are, I don't think any of them actually write those songs. They're told what to sing and how to sing it, at what tempo. Yeah, they're really awesome people. Cammy is just so, she's like that mother figure to so many people. She just does it, you know. Nora and I left our jackets and all our stuff underneath one of the conference tables, not even thinking about it. We went to the bar. There was a really strange guy that was following Nora and Patricia Steer around, like right behind him, like breathing on their neck. And then when they stopped at an elevator, he was just sitting there walking around them, circling them. And then he started just walking around by himself, like just weird, like almost in circles around people that were at the bar and stuff. So Nora and I, he like disappeared down a hallway, and she and I, we were like making a scary movie on my phone, looking for him. And then we're like, oh shit, we need to go get our coats. Of course, our coats weren't there. Cammy had picked them up and grabbed them for us and brought them back to her house. Just an amazing, very cool lady. I can't wait to meet her again. And actually, if I had either altitude sickness or something wasn't right with me when I was up there. Like the whole time I had like a headache behind my eyes, but it just constantly got worse and worse and worse, to the point to where I started getting dizzy after we got back from the tavern. Yeah, just, she was like nonstop on the go. Next conference, I might. Yeah. Nora's very cool. Different. You could tell brought up in a different culture, though. She has that fiery Irish in her. It was funny. She doesn't take any crap and doesn't back down, and yeah, she definitely says what's on her mind. She's a very cool chick. We're going to start working on translating things from, you know, all these different countries, and we need to break the language barrier. I think that's one of the next steps that need to be taken in the whole flat earth movement, is we need people to, Hank, what are you doing, babe? To start translating things, because there's ideas that we've probably never heard that are coming from other countries that get overlooked because of the language barrier. And I think that's another way that they divide us, is through our language. And we need to break that barrier. I'm not saying we all need to go out and learn 10 languages. Yeah, Jack, exactly. There's so many people that are, looking into different avenues and different ways of thinking about things. And we need to start taking all this information and translating it. And I know Google has translators and this and that we can put on there, but I'd rather have somebody that actually is fluent in both the languages, because I don't trust Google. Yes, exactly, Constance. Refine it. Exactly, Jack. They separate us in so many ways, and we need to not allow that to happen. We need to see where they're separating us. And in warfare, any type of warfare, 90 to 95% of it is information based. It's all based on information. And they are all united. All these people that are hiding all this stuff from us, and they're all one. They all have it down. They've been doing it for a long time. A lot of them know many different languages or have their own personal translators that they trust. Wow, people working late. Always got my gun ready in my lap. And I hate to even think like that, like I might need it. But I'm one of those that I like to be prepared. You never know what's going to happen or who's going to come up to your window. And yeah, that's why the flat earth is so powerful. Because they can't hide that from us. You know how many people are divided and fighting over how the buildings fell on 9/11? And who cares how they fell? The important part is that it was done on purpose by not the people they tell us. That we are being lied to about the whole thing. Or if people died at Sandy Hook, or if they didn't, and this and that, and yada. I'm not saying kids dying isn't a horrible thing, and I'm just saying that what matters is that we're being lied to. And it's a deception. That's the important part. And waking up people to that is not an easy thing to do. That's the thing. They've thrown away so much of that evidence. The day after. Yes, exactly, Jack. It's not about it being flat or it being this way or that way. The thing is that they're lying to us. Or it doesn't matter why they're lying to us. Their reason. All right, that's not the most important part. The most important part is that they are lying. And that's what people need to understand. Yes, people have lots of theories about lots of things that have to do with flat Earth. But in the end, it all comes down to we're being lied to. We're being deceived by people that a lot of people put their faith and trust into. And the saddest part is all these people know that these people lie about so much stuff. Yeah, I mean, the song Imagine by John Lennon says it all. Imagine there are no countries. There are no lines anymore. They don't follow those lines. They don't live by those lines. Imagine no religion, no possessions. That's where it comes down to the whole money thing. Nobody possesses anything. Nobody owns the land. All that stuff is just more ways to divide us. Oh, it's only... Good Lord, I'm about to fall asleep. Maybe I could take a little nap? I don't know. Whoa. I'm afraid if I fall asleep, though, I won't get up. And I got enough to make another nice, big, thick... Yeah, this is one of the 180 gauge right here. This one's for you, Adam. Nice, big, thick guy.
Oh, you mean now?
Oh, I could take a nap right now. I don't think I'm going to make it. 3.5 more hours. I'm going to have to go get some caffeine or something and wake myself up a little bit here. I've noticed, have you noticed that, Adam, when we talk, I talk like a sailor. Not super bad, but for some reason YouTube, it's censored more, the way I speak.
Yeah, I'll text you.
Well, I just don't want to take a nap and end up sleeping too long. Like have my cousin call me and not hear the phone. I'd feel bad. Yeah, have you noticed that I censor myself? Like when I don't know, it's weird. Because I'm not always Mr. I doubt he'd nudge me. He'd hear it. I'm sure I'll wake up if I fall asleep. I just don't know about falling asleep around where there's so many people. I mean, I have a lot of stuff just... I mean, it's all locked up and everything, but they could take the whole crate. Yeah, and that lady, Becky, who was talking to her, I mean, she knows I'm a flat earther, but I don't think she knew I was, this outspoken about it. and we get on here on YouTube and talk about it so much. I mean, everybody at work knew my position on the shape of the earth. Because at first, like I said, I would go out and tell everybody. I even told my plant manager. He just walked away from me, didn't say another word. But I didn't care. I wanted to share that information. His last name, though, is Koch. Koch. Yeah, I didn't see that emoji either. It's just a square. It was weird. Yeah, my boss's name was Koch, but he spelled it, he pronounced it Cook, even though it was Koch. Just like the Koch brothers, just like Susan Koch of Indiana, the richest person in the state, owned a bunch of pharmaceutical nonsense. Yeah, and my plant manager didn't need to work there. Had 800 acres that he farmed.
Yeah.
Had the Corvette and the Hummer and the 4 or 5 brand new pickup trucks and but was willing to make me one of his supervisors, one of his 4 supervisors in the factory. I didn't want the job though. I like doing maintenance, fixing machines and working with my hands. I hated to, even though I filled in as a supervisor all the time. I didn't like doing it. I don't like telling people what to do. I like having a job and doing it. And just, tell me what needs to be done and I'll get it done. I don't like having to say, okay, you go do this and you do this and you do that and you do this. And actually, I don't even mind doing that. I can't stand people coming up to me and bitching about other people and this and that and all the nonsense. I didn't like, she said this and she said that, and trying to get 2 women that hated each other to get along. Give me a job and let me do it. They always knew. They'd tell me something needed to be done. And they would tell me, and they knew they didn't have to go check on me to make sure I was working or this or that. They knew it was going to be done, and it was going to be done right, and it was going to be done as quickly as I possibly could get it done properly. That's what my plant manager loved about me. He didn't have to babysit me. And he knew if I didn't understand something that I would ask. I wouldn't go and just mess it up trying to get it done right. I would actually, get you a drink, babe. I was never scared to say, hey, I don't understand this. What exactly is, am I supposed to be doing here? I would never had a problem saying, I don't know. People say, oh, have you ever heard of this? And instead of saying, oh, yeah. And then they're like, oh, okay, well, and then you have no idea what they're talking about. No, if I didn't hear about something or didn't know about something, nope, I've never heard of that. Please enlighten me. Share your knowledge. Yeah, he just woke up from a little nap, huh? Hanky Panky. You want to come say hi? Come here. Don't step on the gun. Even though it's not chambered, we don't need it. Whoa, whoa. He's okay. He's okay. Come here, bubs. Come here. I do. I love my painter painter, huh? Yeah. All right, Adam. Love you, brother. Be seeing you here shortly. I'm sure we'll talk before I see you, but I can't wait, man. So much knowledge we're going to share with each other. That's what this is all about. Yeah, that's my painter painter, huh? You're such a handsome guy. Oh, you're such a handsome guy. Oh, I know. I know. We still got over 3 hours. 3 hours. Daddy's gonna need to go get some coffee or something. Something to, oh, bless you. Burps. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You're so handsome. You want your belly rubbers? You want some belly rubbings? Oh, that's a good boy. Yeah, I know. W or Dopper or whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna get some caffeine in me and make sure I stay up. But it's been a good chat. I really enjoy this. I can't wait till I get to do this, you know, without having to sit at a Taco Bell parking lot. Maybe sitting around a fire or something, crocheting. But let's see, what am I at? 32%? No, I was gonna say maybe I could do it a little bit longer since a few more people are jumping in here, but no, Hank's ready. Hank's ready. Go do some. I'm not even gonna say it. I know you're ready. Yeah. So duty calls. Time to do some dad stuff. And get Hank his. We haven't done our evening walk. I think he's ready for one. Huh, babe? Yeah, I know. Okay, come on, get up for a sec. Come on, watch out. Come on. Let daddy get up. Come on. Oh, you just gonna sit there? You telling me no? You doing what you want? Okay. I love y'all. This has been a good night. I'll probably be on in the morning. Yeah, I'm going to, brother. Gonna take Hank for a little walk around, pee on some trees and some rocks and whatever he can find. Make sure I take a bag with me. But y'all have a wonderful evening. And I'll be on in the morning, most likely, from a hotel room. So I'll see y'all around. Thanks for joining me. It's really helped me pass the time here. But I love y'all. And I'll be seeing you shortly. Good times for all here signing up. As always, thanks for watching.